Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Palm Harbor Circuit here at Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. My name is Ahrcéus and I will be your caster for this specific video as we are going to take a look at one of my first ever races here in this circuit. This track has 3 DRS zones and we're talking about the DRS capability, the overtake capability rather, of this race. We're gonna see a lot of different actions on track, hopefully, as we retain the pole position that we've gotten in the qualifying session of this race. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the video right away.
Game changer, rearrange your strategies. The same old way we'll see you change the strategy. Step up for you done, my son, let it rip. Come on quick, it's begun.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have just gotten a 1 minute and 16 second qualifying time for this race. That gives us pole position for the UAE GP. 3 lights so far, red lights I mean, and 5 lights. That gives us the time to go in this race. Here we go, Ahrcéus on the lead, and he's ahead of Sen 123 Joan. He goes to the first turn, nice turning right there, and he enters the chicane nice and steady as well, following the racing line right there. That is 7 gear for Ahrcéus onto the first heartbreaking zone, and wow, that was quite a slight shunt right there, but he keeps it on track. Nice driving by Ahrcéus. That gives in 21 seconds a purple sector for sector 1. Here we go, that's 2 seconds adrift, actually 2 seconds ahead of Sen 123 Join in this race. And entering the first DRS zone, we can't actually use the DRS zone right now because we're simply in the lead. That does not give us the chance to use it. Clipping the apex right there for the second DRS zone of the race. Fantastic driving by Ahrcéus right there. Will he get another purple sector? Let's see. Any moment now. That's 31 seconds. That is indeed another purple sector for sector 2. Ahrcéus is leading this race by a quarter mile. We're not even sure if this is going to be good, but yes, he is handling the chicane nice and steady. That is now 4.8 seconds ahead of P2. Here we go, on to the final turn of the race. Ahrcéus clips the apex nice and steady. And here he is at the starting grid. Will he get 3 purple sectors? He does. That is a solid 1 minute and 18 seconds for lap 1. Somebody has just exited the pits right now. We're not sure if that's a race member or someone just trying out the race, but we're not sure about that. 7.4 seconds ahead of Sen 123 Joan. That is quite a lead by Ahrcéus. Will he get purple sector for sector 1? He does. That is 1.5 seconds, and here he goes, clipping another apex nice and steady. Ahrcéus now activates ERS, disables it just in time for the first DRS zone, and there he goes, activates it once again to be able to get that additional speed on the straights. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was quite a shunt right there. Ahrcéus did not like that, but he remains on track for the final DRS zone of the race. There seems to be a bit of lag on the system right now. I could not fathom what in the world is going on. But despite that lag, Ahrcéus, wow, he gets 7 thousandths of a second faster than his previous lap. That gives him another purple sector. Insane lap. Okay, he enters the chicane quite a bit slow for this one. I don't think that would give him a pretty decent sector 3, but we may never know. Ahrcéus does his best to clip the final apex of this lap, and that concludes lap 2. He does not get a purple sector. Instead, he gets a yellow sector. That is so sad, but still he gets a faster lap time than the previous one. That's 1 minute 17 seconds and 297. Okay, so Ahrcéus' ERS is not predominantly good right now, considering he's using most of it on straights. But that keeps him on the lead with about 19 seconds ahead of Sen 123 Joan in the Linguini. That's now 0.5 seconds faster than the previous lap. Ahrcéus another purple sector for sector 1. Here we go, on to the first DRS zone of this track. Ahrcéus is keeping his race pace at a consistent level. Pretty good job by Ahrcéus right there. Here we are at sector 2. Will he get another purple sector? Let's see. Any moment now. That is now 0.7 seconds faster than the previous lap. Fantastic job by Ahrcéus once again. We're now 22 seconds ahead of P2 right there. We're now entering the final chicane. Not as fast as he was earlier, but pretty good. Not bad. Not bad at least. So this game, actually gotta tell you straight, this is pretty awesome. If you have not tried Roblox Iron Formula Racing, you have to try it if you're a Formula 1 fan. insane game. I'm actually enjoying playing this every day. That's actually a 1 minute and 15 second lap time rather for this specific lap. Oh no, Ahrcéus gets a corner cut at sector 1. Does not give him a good advantage, and Sen123 Joan will get additional time, actually lesser time to close the gap. That is actually plus 3 seconds on Ahrcéus' time. Someone has just flipped his car right there in front. That has to be a pretty bad movement by Ahrcéus right there. But still, he clips the apex for the first DRS zone and deploys his ERS nice and steady onto the 7th gear. And he's slowing down. What in the world? Okay, he's braking up. Alright, somebody has actually gone back on track in the wrong time. But the good thing for this game is that if a car goes back on track, there will be no collision whatsoever. That is not a good lap for Ahrcéus so far. He's losing a lot of time because of his mistakes. Lap 4 is something that he definitely would just like to forget right now. That's another mistake by Ahrcéus, and another one. Oh man, he would not like to repeat this lap for the next following. And by the way, we're now 32 seconds ahead of Sen123 Joan despite the mistakes we've been doing. And Ahrcéus is just lacking the grip right now. In just 5 laps of the race, that's now 1 minute and 21 seconds. Will he be able to finish this race considering how much he's been flopping over the past minutes? Ahrcéus is now in first person, by the way, deploying and closing his ERS. What in the world is Ahrcéus doing? Man. Alright, he's now in 5th gear, deploying his ERS as much as he could, trying to get as much as he can. He is not doing a pretty good job on the first sector for the final lap. That's an additional 1 second for him. Man. But he does clip this apex nice and steady. Enters the DRS zone with little to almost no ERS at hand. That's quite sad. And he's now braking hard as he enters this second DRS zone of this race. He's now deploying and closing his ERS, trying to see if he can get as much as he could. By the way, for your information, ladies and gentlemen, this was one of my first matches, my first games in Iron Formula Racing. So my car here was not as competitive as it is today. I believe I had a setting of 0.4, I guess. But still, again, Ahrcéus gets 1 red sector and 1 yellow sector. But as he approaches the final lap of this race, the final turn of this race, a BMW just shunted right there. Here we go. Ahrcéus brings home the victory for the UAE Grand Prix free practice for Iron Formula Racing. That gives him the final lap time of 1 minute and 19 seconds. That gives him an additional 19,286. Here is Ahrcéus' slow lap, and that concludes his race at the United Arab Emirates, or the Palm Harbor Circuit in Dubai, only at Iron Formula Racing. Congratulations to Ahrcéus and to all the racers for this event. Fantastic rides for everyone. Let's see. For the results, Ahrcéus successfully finishes 6 laps for this race. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, as well as the GG3. That concludes the UAE Grand Prix at Iron Formula Racing. If you have not checked this game out, check it out in Roblox today. Trust me, if you're a Formula 1 fan, a racing fan, you will love this game. My name is Ahrcéus, the GG3 Guildmaster. Thank you very much for being with me in this video, and I'll see you next time. Always remember that win or lose, good game, and GG3 for life.
Game changer, rearrange your strategies. The same old way we'll see you shame the strategy. Step up, 4, you're done, my son. Let it rip, come equipped, it's begun. 3, 2, 1. Is it about the destination or the journey you find it? When you top that hill, there's still a mountain behind it. All the time the stage around you is changing. So isn't it your business not to just maintain, but change within it? No limits but the ones you place upon yourself. These trophies on your shelf made